able to get through with some just raw power, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Some magic, some gaming, some sun god, and we eventually all made it to Bryn Shander. Short version of the towns we had found. Cumulatively, we had discovered that they had basically all been not abandoned. What's the word? Retreated from. I forget the word. Can't think of it.
Evacuated.
Evacuated. Thank you. They had all been evacuated, as far as we can tell, because the giant Shardland dragon was making its way around, basically counterclockwise around the 10 towns, destroying all the towns. At that point, Gaiman and Alicia, unbeknownst to the rest of the team, have sort of made a pact to take over 10 towns and become the new leadership of 10 towns. So that's a thing, maybe? Kind of sounds like Gaiman's maybe became evil headband of intellect sort of thing going on. Alicia's sort of doing a evil inquisitor sort of thing, or maybe not super evil yet, but they're definitely going from good to at least neutral, if not going down to neutral or lawful evil.
Mm-hmm.
Avalis then asked around Bryn Shander, asked them to evacuate from Bryn Shander. The sheriff said, okay, you know what you're doing, so now they're evacuating Bryn Shander. Avalis then found out that they had no cannons in Bryn Shander to mount to defense, so it doesn't really, as far as that goes, it doesn't really matter where we defend. Then in one last attempt to get some sort of support, Avalis the expert, according to Sheriff. Finally, Avalis went to the Church of Auril to try and find out what they were doing, or get their help, whatever he could get from the church. Basically, the church said that they will defend themselves from the dragon. So that's basically where we're at. We've all made it to Bryn Shander, and we're about to. We've been planning our defense, planning on how we're going to defend ourselves from this dragon.
That is perfect. You have earned a point of DM inspiration. Now, everyone, I was just kidding earlier when you do not actually have to answer if you'd rather punch a naked Hitler or a Hitler wearing hockey pads. That was just a joke. We will now move on to our Thane facts. So, for our Thane facts, let us begin first with Gaiman the Glaive.
I don't know. I kind of like the whole whether I punch a naked person or a padded person question.
Mm.
You know, can I not answer that as my Thane fact?
You could answer that if you wish.
Well, honestly, the answer is yes, because either way, it doesn't matter. Because if they're naked, they get the full brunt of my attack. If they've got hockey pads and a helmet and whatnot, I'll turn their armor against them. Now, I'll use it to not trip them up. I'll toss them about, using the pads and whatnot. Because those got those big ridiculous leggings and got a helmet. I mean, you just snatch a helmet off somebody's head. You could use that as a means of beating the shit out of them. Really mollywop them. So my answer is
Absolutely.
yes.
Well then, definitely use the hockey pads. I guess that's awesome. We'll see if everyone else follows suit with their answer to the question. Gaiman, you have earned Faxpiration. Let us continue to the Lotus.
All right. So, thing of fact for this week. Now, of course, I've talked about Lotus's love of karaoke, and it was something she loved, of course, back home on her planet Earth in Baltimore. Now, of course, karaoke just wouldn't be complete without some adult beverages, and Lotus's drink of choice is this cocktail called the Long Island Iced Tea. Just because it has like a little bit of everything. Tastes good, nice and strong. Give you the liquid courage before you start singing, and also because she just likes this having to explain to people that yes, it is called a Long Island iced tea, even though it has no actual iced tea in it.
Mm.
Oh no. Everything I knew about Long Island iced tea has been a lie.
Oh no, I hope
I
that you're not
actually
serious.
had a buddy in college that made his LITs with tea.
Mm.
Right.
Not-
It does
not
sound good though,
Dakota?
I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, that's cool. I have not drank a Long Island iced tea in many years, and it'll probably be many years till I drink another one again. Let us continue to Alicia. Alicia, what is your fact for this week?
She's evil. What? Who said that? What?
So
Must have been a bad text.
oh, that wasn't my phone. For Alicia's fact, I don't want to keep going down this path, so I think I'll pivot off. Since coming to Icewind Dale, as much as they don't really like the cold and the snow, they have, at least at the beginning, we're starting to have a little bit of fascination with it. Trying to observe the people in Targos, how they're going about their daily lives, and how they've been able to kind of live in this more frozen, not so much a wasteland, but just frozen environment. I think they were hoping to maybe get involved with some of the fishers at some point, take a couple of voyages on their fishing trips to see how things were done. But a lot of kind of work at the shrine in Tarkas kind of occupied most of their time, so they didn't really get a chance to do it just until a little bit recently. And then the call came out to some of the Thanes are needed in Bryn Shander, so maybe that was something that they would like to have done a little bit later.
Absolutely. Maybe when this great thaw that comes, you can finally take your 3-hour tour in the lakes of Bryn Shander. I love that. You've earned Faxpiration. Okay, then we need to next ask, because we've asked Gaiman, we've asked Alicia, we've asked the Lotus. Let's ask Avalas what their thing fact is.
Every morning I wake up scared. The more I find out about this world, the more I realize I don't understand it, and that I am not a part of it. It honestly frightens me, and I don't think I really have much of a place here. Once the long night is gone, and the light has returned to the Dale, and its troubles mostly resolved. I plan to do that overly dramatic thing where I walk off into the sunset without a word. My thought is to find some grove or forest that I can feel the warmth of and presence of Sylvanas and establish a sanctuary. Maybe finding my place finally.
I just got real big. I can go the distance vibes from your thing back there.
I don't know. I kind of got the end of the Hulk series vibe. Walking away trying to hitch a ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Why is Atlas wearing a jean jacket?
Does anyone know how to play the piano? I'll just play that riff for Avalos. I love it. Excellent. Well, Avalos has earned a point of Factspiration. Last but surely not least, Akia, you are up.
All right. I've sort of got a triple, but they're all small. So Akia's Thane Fact, continuing with what their spells look like, because they got a new spell prepared called Skywrite, and Skywrite for Akia is a flare gun. It's just a flare gun. It takes 10 minutes to load. But yeah, Skywrite flare gun. You do have to be able to see it in the dark, so it kind of comes out like a neon color, kind of like someone set off just a neon light sort of exploded up into the sky. Also, their favorite days are windy. They like seeing windy days, not calm days. They haven't experienced a sunny day yet. They don't know if they like that or not. But they like windy days because they can feel the wind, and it just gives them sort of like this. It's just nice to feel it, and it's nice to see like the wind over the Dale because it sort of makes these waves out of the snow. Like as the wind goes across the snow, it sort of makes these waves of like powder. And,
that's cool.
And my last fact is a player fact, because Akia has finished the Ghoul Claw dagger that they are working on, which is now the Zombie Kuma Claw. And player fact, that is the first magical item that I've ever had a character make.
Oh, that's cool.
So 3 for 1.
I feel like I need to give you 1 Factspiration for your effort.
Thank you.
Excellent, heroes. Well, you have all been charged with the power of Factspiration. You have been charged with DM Inspiration. It is currently 1:15 in the morning. You are all standing in the city of Bryn Shander. Pillars of smoke have been leading from the smoldering towns surrounding Bryn Shander up into the night sky. Hundreds of refugees have expanded the population of Bryn Shander from its normal, respectable numbers of around 1,000 to near 2,000 to 2,500 people. People are elbowing each other in the streets, jockeying for safety. The town's militia is overwhelmed with the amount of people. The sheriff, unsure of how to keep the people safe. The town speaker, speechless. Our heroes, what will they do? I will activate the map of Bryn Shander. Currently, you all see smoke rising from several places around the dale. Let's see. Currently, you see 1, 2, 3, 6 pillars of smoke that you can see from Bryn Shander.
Okay, so OOC, I guess that's sort of telling us. Sounds like the DM is telling us, guys, that that 6 of the towns are on fire currently. Is the way I'm interpreting that.
I'd say that sounds about right.
How many towns are in 10 towns?
You realize that we
Really?
just said it, right?
It's in the fucking name.
Well, we know Dugan's Hole, Goodmead, East Haven, Caer Dineval, Caer Koenig. Those are all already gone. So there's one more, whatever was after that, because I don't have the rest of the route. Whatever it is.
Well, it sounds like if we're at 6 out of 10, Targos would be 9. So it sounds like we could maybe make it to Targos before the dragon and possibly prevent the destruction of. Because if we save Bryn Shander and Targos, that's like what 90% of like the square miles of actual town out of all of 10 towns. So like we wouldn't have near as many homeless people if we saved Targos.
Right, and thing is, or it says, yeah, if so long as we save the people, things can always be fixed and rebuilt.
Well,
yeah,
if,
but it's.
go
Go ahead.
If we're unable to stop them there, there's defenses here still, at least, and the people are evacuating. So that would help.
All right. Quick vote. Who wants to wait and defend to go to Targos? Do we want to just vote on that real quick? There's
Question:
some-
Do you guys see what I've just placed on the map?
Yes.
I'm just gonna, just low key put those around the city, just for funsies.
Cool. All right. I guess I'm gonna vote for let's go save Targos,
You guys need
just
a
so
poll.
that we can save more of the town. Yes, please.
So
Well,
there's stay here, go to Targos, go to Lonelywood, I guess. What other options would we have?
I mean, there is the option that none of us will take, but is an option is that we just run away like fucking cowards.
Yeah,
and then,
we're out. Yeah.
and then honestly, we just come back to rebuild from everything that was destroyed. Get new identities. And the dragon will probably go back to where it started and just sort of like power down.
Yeah, it's
like
eventually
pre-programmed.
It'll tucker out eventually.
All right, I will. Those are the options.
As a heads.
Somehow, I see. I see. I see what shit there. You're trying to tempt me there. I see. Eh.
Oh no, I've been tempted.
Just
In rebels.
just so I'm not like changing my mind later or something. Kia has been in his other form all day, and we have not had a long rest or anything. So, or I think I can switch it on a short rest, but they're currently in the what's it called? The other form.
Can you repeat
What
your
one-
question? What are you asking?
Oh, I'm just saying that Akia's in not in the form that gives them all that temp HP, but in the one that gives them 5 extra movement and a different weapon.
Oh, you are an infiltrator form.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. You are a infiltrator, not a guardian. So it is, as I spoke, almost getting to 1:30 in the morning. The party spent most of yesterday traveling, whether it was on the back of a sled or on the back of an owl. The fatigue is real. The effects of traveling all day, not getting much rest, and then the stress of the situation is all-consuming. Does the party plan to sleep, or do you plan to stay up through the night trying to formulate what you do next?
I would really hate to try to fight this thing exhausted.
I mean, I'm not sure how you can sleep knowing that thing's out there.
Easy, alcohol.
I mean, I was the one that left first. I'm just saying, we're gonna throw stones.
Avalos, have you slept since leaving?
Oh, actually, he has. He's fine, right? Because then I got to, I actually got to sleep.
Yeah, you tranced on your owl.
Yeah. Well, Avalos probably wouldn't say that then because he's fine.
Yeah, but this is another day, and we're at 1 a.m. Like, this is when we would need to start our next long rest, is what Demon's saying.
Mm-hmm. Because the 4 members of the party who were not on Owlback did not get that chance.
Yeah, I don't know about you lot, but I'm not going up against a dragon. I haven't gotten some kind of sleep.
I could fly ahead and prepare Targos.
You mean warn them? Because, I mean, what the fuck are they going to prepare against? They need to, get the fuck out of Dodge.
Well, if we're to head to Targos, maybe we should head there now. And could try, and a few of you could try to sleep on the way.
Not all of us have the same sort of steely constitution that you do, Akia, so I don't know about you. I'm not sleeping on the back of no dog sled. That's no kind of rest. Listen, it's getting a good kip tonight, and then we, get up, refreshed, and then go kill a dragon. Or not, or maybe I'm just a fucking asshole. Everybody hates my ideas.
A voice chips up and says, "Gaiman, I don't hate your idea at all. In fact, I think it's quite good." As you see as a man scratches his bald head underneath his orange trucker hat.
Thank you, Dale.
Maybe we need to have
my ideas.
a split party sort of situation. I hate to say it, but maybe that's what needs to happen.
No. I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to throw it out there just in case.
Because, alright, so, Avalos, you got, some rest on the way over here.
I did.
Because you're looking,
Well, I always look good.
completely fucked up.
I woke up like this.
You know what? Some of us have to, we'll put some effort in. Not all of us can wake up and all that. But I mean, you didn't have you had an honor. You didn't have an easy go of things coming here by your lonesome, right?
There were complications, but if nothing I could not overcome.
All right. Well, you're by yourself. You got lucky that it was something you could manage. What if it's something you can't manage by yourself? So look, I get it that you won't go ahead and like warn them, but like if we could see the pillars of disaster, I mean, Targos. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea for us to go, just cutting ourselves up, spread ourselves thin, when we should, move as a force.
The distance is far.
After we've had a chance to rest.
The distance is far less to Targos, so me leaving early would buy us only a little more time. If the group wishes me to stay and wait, I will do so.
We could.
That's just my 2 coppers. That's not. I don't speak for the group.
New art.
The new art, of course. The group turns, and does Alicia have anything to say about what is happening currently?
No, they're just observing the party, seeing what decision that they finally come up with. They've already voiced their opinion of going to Targos. And
did you get that commissioned?
Hell no.
No, I think that's some AI shit right there.
I don't even know. I just searched on Pinterest.
But it's like, it's got all the details.
I know, right? I don't know about the whole eye stuff, but you know what? We'll go with it.
Mm-hmm. It is really cool.
But no, they're just watching you guys.
So what you're saying is that Alicia's got an eye for the artistic?
Yes.
Embrace the puns.
I mean, I don't.
It's less punishing when you embrace the puns.
I can
show you the world.
Well, if we're going to be staying here, it probably will be a bit of a tight fit for all of us, but you all are more than welcome at my cottage.
I appreciate that, but I will be at the House of the Morning Lord.
It just seems more efficient to, if we have time to rest and get to. I'm sorry, what's the name of that town? Off the Targos.
Targos.
If we have time to rest and get to Targos in either order, it seems to me that we should go to Targos first and rest there.
Okay, OC, I'm going to stop you right there. That's not a good idea because we've just been hard pressed, and now we're here at 1 a.m. If we're going to be going to Targos, we're going to have to be making some con checks as we go. And if we have bad, shitty dice, we may not be able to shake it all by the time we get there.
So mechanically, David is correct, absolutely correct. So here's where it comes in. If you do not rest within a 24-hour period, so taking a long rest within that 24-hour period, you have to make a Constitution saving throw. The first one is DC 10 if you go without rest. If you fail it, you gain 1 level of exhaustion. If you do this for 2 days in a row, the DC increases to a 15, and then to a 20, then to a 25, until it is impossible to pass and you die from exhaustion.
Mm-hmm. How we've got really fast doggies now. How long is the trip to Targos?
That is a great question. So, distance to Targos from Brinshander, travel by dog sled. Brinshander,
or as the giant owl flies, you know.
With magic.
Listen, not all of us are so fancy that we have giant owls that are beck and call.
We
So
got an
it-
entire team of magic dogs.
Technically, they're not magic. Their booties are magic. It will
Magic.
be under an hour to travel to Targos by means of dog sled, and under an hour to travel by means of owl. So you guys would get there roughly the same time, because this is one of those times where, when traveling to that place from Bryn Shander to Targos, you don't have to make huge divots over land. You don't have to make a veer around a mountain or anything like that. It is pretty much a straight shot from Bryn Shander to Targos. Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
much a straight shot.
If it's less than an hour for us, it's less than an hour for the dragon. So if we can't even rest here and then go to Targos, then we might as well just have stayed here anyway. So maybe it's best to rest here and then go.
Should we vote again?
Oh man. So I didn't even look at the results. Head the Dragon off at Targos was a 5 out of 5.
I mean, the other thing is, in order to get a long rest, that's at least 6 hours sleeping, or 4 hours for other weird races.
Would you guys like to make a
Weird.
history check to remember what the exact path of the dragon was? I will say it is incredibly easy DC to remember because you guys have had a stressful past few hours.
I mean, it was just counterclockwise. It was just like,
I mean, sure,
but
would
I
be a
think
history
he
check.
may also be insinuating that, like, you know, airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, like how fast it's going to go.
sure. Let me see. Do I have to call this before I?
Demon was not in the room where it happened, so that makes sense.
If you are wondering, yes, you do need to call. You want to spend DM inspiration before you do.
Flash of Genius.
Oh, Flash of Genius is a reaction when you fail. So you can literally do it when you fail. It is a very good ability.
It's also something you could
Okay.
apply to allies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I saw this one time on Reddit, and it was so stupid. You could give yourself a negative intelligence as an artificer, and then give it to enemies so that they get negatives to their stuff. Don't know why you would do that, but you could.
I argue that if you give yourself negatives in intelligence, you do not have the wherewithal to do that to your enemies.
Sure.
I thought it says in the ability that it gives you a minimum of 1.
Is it a minimum of 1? Oh my gosh. Then those people on the Reddit page.
No,
Oh,
no,
does it?
it's a minimum of 1 use because you can use it a number of times equal to your intelligence modifier.
Okay, so that's what
But it just adds your intelligence modifier, so the -1 technically works.
I don't know why you would do it, but it was just such a silly thing.
It's a very silly thought experiment.
Like the infinite AC experiment that I saw the other day on the Munchkin Reddit.
Is this with the turtle in full cover and all that other nonsense?
It is. There is a line in the Beast Barbarian about you can roll a d8 when you grow a tail, and there's nowhere in that part of the ability where it says that the AC that you get from your tail goes away, but it's purposely being misread with the hope of misleading your DM or hoping they don't read the whole ability to see if you can get the infinite AC hack.
That's stupid.
Just keep growing tails over and over and permanently increase your AC.
Yeah, they're saying essentially that your it doesn't say that the AC ends even after your rage ends, so my AC is permanently 8 higher, and I grew another tail, and now it's 8 higher than that. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very stupid.
That is incredibly stupid. Anyone who embraces that attitude, I think, shouldn't be playing D&D.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe they need to play a different game, because their reasoning it sounds like they're just trying to win. Anyways, I'm putting more fires on the maps.
Would like to try and figure out how long before the dragon reaches Targos, if possible.
Okay. So with your guys' history checks, because you all have made them, you know that the first spot was Dugan's Hole, the second spot was Goodmead, East Haven, the Caerdinval, Caerkonig, Tourmaline, Lonelywood, Bremen, Targos, and then finally Bryn Shander.
Can Akia calculate how long before it reaches Targos?
You could figure out from maybe what town it's at how long it would take it to get to Targos, but how long it would take to destroy the town, that might be a little tougher.
Just how long it'll take to get there, assuming that it destroys a town in, say, 30 minutes. Just estimating.
Sure.
That'd be like a intelligence check, or
we will say for this, we will go raw intelligence check.
okay. I will use my one of my DM's inspirations, because this seems like an important check.
Guys, I'm making really good use of my little fire animations. Okay, a 21. So you get the feeling that it will take it not a very long time to destroy Lonelywood completely, because Lonelywood is very small. From there, flying from Tourmaline to Lonelywood, so that will take maybe 30 minutes. Lonelywood to Bremen will probably take it roughly 90 minutes. May take it 30 minutes to destroy Bremen completely, and then it'll take it a half hour to fly from Bremen to Targos.
We do not have 8 hours.
Nope.
Now, Bremen, of course, is a bit larger city than Lonelywood or Tourmaline, so it might put up a little bit bigger of a fight, but Targos and Bryn Shander are the last large cities left.
It would be a gamble that we could finish resting before it reaches Bryn Shander.
Nah,
depends
Tempest, damn it.
They would have to put up a fight for at least 3 hours.
All right, fuck it. Back on the sleds. Let's go. Also, Gaiman's gonna go rummaging in his rucksack, and he's gonna produce the 3 jars of mimic adhesive that he has. Excuse me, vials, not jars, and say, "All right, so who's going up on the dragon with me?" Really? No takers?
Can the giant owl could only carry one person? Is that right?
Yes, Giant Owl can only carry one person. One medium person. If you were 2 small people, it could carry 2 small people.
Okay.
I am not very strong. I believe I would be shook off even with the aid of the adhesive.
Yeah, I'm with Akia on this. I am definitely not climbing that thing. You can go right ahead, though, Gaiman. I have complete faith in you.
Okay, OC. I'm just gonna put this out in chat so you guys can see it. Even if you're not particularly strong, I honestly think if we are judicious in its application and tactical in where we are, I think we'll be okay. Because the grapple and then whether we're stuck to it are 2 different things, as I'm reading this. If I'm wrong, correct me. But
A medium or smaller creature adhered to the adhesive creature is also grappled by it. The adhesive creature also automatically succeeds on climbing checks as long as it is adhesive. So yeah, as long as you are stuck to it, the creature essentially is grappled to you.
Did I bring anything that's melee based?
So what I'm saying is, if I'm slathered up in the mimic adhesive, I could move around on the dragon. I mean, obviously I have to make some checks to, be able to unstick myself and move. But I mean, I'm not impeding its movement.
Mhm.
So I would argue that grappling and being stuck to it are separate things.
Yeah, so you are using this as a way to ensure that the dragon doesn't buck you off.
Or makes it really freaking harder for it to buck me off, because again, it is a freaking dragon.
Because that's the last thing you want to be, 300 feet up in the air and then get bucked off by the dragon. And
I mean, raging will do a lot to mitigate any fall damage, but I'm only level 7.
Mm-hmm. And as you all are probably aware, I play by those no capped fall damage rules.
I think. I'm not sure. If I am going to do that, I need to take a short rest and switch back to Guardian mode.
I mean, do you have 4? Wait, no, it's a short rest. So, never mind.
I think I can switch on a short rest. Let me double check.
I cannot recollect. I want to say it's on a long rest, but I could be wrong.
Oh, short rest.
I am wrong.
Do you wish me to accompany you on the dragon? If we can reach it. I can only teleport one person at a time.
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like I'm being a dick if I press it any further. I mean, it seems like everyone's like, oh no, I'm going to fall off the dragon. I mean, maybe it's just better if I do this by myself.
Look, any of you want to climb on the dragon, you can go ahead. It's just that I just don't think I'm built for such a thing, is all. I mean, look at me. Just look at me.
All right, I'll if you're on the dragon and it's got no one else to attack, it might try to attack us, so I should probably be in Guardian mode anyway. So I'll go ahead and switch and apply the glue when we see the dragon, and we'll just see what happens.
Jamin will toss you a vial of the mimic adhesive.
Okay. All right, we are headed to Targos, DM.
Okay, you all ship out. Your companions all ready to get on the dog sleds with you. They give you the thumbs up, including one Mr. Cooper Nabanaka.
Oh, well, shit, that's in all of it.
Actually, did y'all want me to talk to the church? I will go talk to Sybil, see if they'll come help.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if we do all that, then we'll be like, in their debt. And if we're in their debt, then we end up in their pocket, and we don't want to be in their pocket.
I would rather have some sort of defense here in case we fail.
Oh, it doesn't give you... when I try to send it back, it doesn't give you as one of my characters that I can select.
That's weird.
Do we need another mimic glue generated?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaiman accidentally sent me 3 instead of 1.
Alrighty, give me one moment.
I have already taken the extra 2 off of my inventory.
Also, Orf, not to complicate things, but to complicate things, it's now been 5 days since my last usage of Hat Crystal. Does that do anything to my stats?
Because you have hit 5 days post, you have really cold turkeyed it at this point. And because you have cold turkeyed it at this point, Gaiman is going to lose Hag Crystal Stage 1.
God damn it.
Which I was going to bring up when you guys finish a long rest, but we might as well do it right now because
I was going to bring it up because of I think we're past the timing of where Remove Curse could be used.
Yes, and the full moon
Was last
that
night.
I had a note here was going to be your like a way to try to pull out his Hag Crystal worms out of his body. Which, oof, can you imagine? Hag Crystal worms? They're like tapeworms, but they look all gooey.
Yeah, they're like mini onyxes, little mini onyx Pokemon.
NGL, I wish I had a little onyx right now. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so your companions are all ready. They have the face of determination upon them. You all do know that there are some of your companions that were left behind before you went out, which is okay. Do you wish to try to recover any of those companions before you head to the city of Targos?
Which companions got left behind are we talking about?
Actually, it's only one. It is Danica.
Not this time.
Honestly, I kind of feel like maybe we just leave the B team behind.
We can leave them as more defense here.
Yeah.
Will we still have access to the B team abilities if we do that?
Likely not.
You would still have access to your B team abilities.
Oh, really?
They would just your B team people would just be here.
Would the team try to stop me from talking to the Church of Auril?
Nope.
No, not at all.
Mhm.
I mean, they seem to be on. I don't know if good terms is the word to use, but they at least seem to be willing to talk to you. So,
Avalos will tell you that he did already talk to them and tell you what the results of that conversation at least.
Okay. I think Akia would go say something before they left. Just knowing that the church is kind of like the other force in town, basically, that has any chance of doing anything to the dragon.
Before you leave, Gaiman would want a private word.
Yes, Gaiman?
Akia, I'm concerned that you going to the church for will put you in a position where you're beholden to them. They will say that we will do this thing, Akia, but you must make promises to us. I'm not saying don't take advantage of the situation if the opportunity presents itself, but you are a well-meaning person. And the fact that they're a bunch of sneaky sons of bitches, it's not lost on me. It shouldn't be lost on you.
Okay. Akia's nodding as you talk.
Be very careful with any promises you make. That's all I'm saying.
Certainly, Gaiman.
And you should, get that squeaky joint looked at, mate. That sounds pretty bad.
My dog is running around.
Oh, I
with
know
a
exactly
ball
what it
in their
is.
mouth. It's adorable.
I'm just fully indebted to the RP is all because I can.
That's so cute.
I'm not gonna lie though, that would be kind of funny. That like, if you were a bard warforged, and you deliberately had like squeaky joints to like, kind of do like, gesture type things, or to make sound effects.
That's
Or basically just a walking boombox, and then you just pop in CDs in order to play music.
I would not.
Aesthetic.
I wouldn't stand that character. I'd be like,
I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying that's an idea in general. So.
I like that idea.
Just a moment, writing this down.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it sounds like Akia, you have the go ahead.
Okay, I head to the church.
Alrighty. You take a short walk through the city of Brinchander to the Church of Auril.
Are you quacking as you go?
That was a quack. The city streets are filled with refugees. More seem to be coming through each of the gates as the minutes passed. The guard, the militia, and the officials of the city are all running through the city, basically tearing their hair out, trying to do their best to keep people in order. It is not going well.
Akia tries to stay out of that.
Mm-hmm. Would you have left Akia 11 with the group, or would you have brought them with?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Also, if you were trying to bring Akia 11 with you, that would also impact what Gaiman was saying to you.
I'm not sure what number 13 would do in that situation, but I think it would be more interesting if they did. So I'll go with that.
Okay. Then, as you go to leave, a cold hand touches your shoulder and says, "Why, sibling, why don't I come with you too?"
Is Gaiman close enough where he observes this?
I would say yes. You guys are all ambiently near one another as you're in the planning stages.
Of course, number 11.
No, wait, hold on a second. You, 11, you're staying put. You're not going with him.
His body continues to face forward, but his head spins to face you and says, "And why should I stay here with you? My sibling is leaving."
I can see how you have an impact on him. He's not himself when you're around, mate.
Gaiman, number 11 is my sibling.
Yeah,
They should be able to stay with me if they wish.
yeah, well, I didn't always get along with my cousins when I was a lad. Sometimes my mum and my aunties had to separate us. So you just, look at this as me playing, at a house. 11, you're sticking with us. Let 13 do his own thing.
Look, if you're all concerned for Akia, if you like, I could accompany them. I promise that I'll behave myself, and I won't try to vandalize the statue again.
Yeah, but try isn't a guarantee. Kia's better served if he does this on his own. You muddle him up. You hurt his confidence. And Lotus, don't take this the wrong way, love. I think you're just gonna, set the enemy on edge. Kia goes, they're all gonna be, chummy and possibly cooperative. And I have confidence that Akia will be able to figure it out on his own. But if there are other bystanders, other people, put their 2 coppers in, it's going to mess with his head.
I'll turn to Akia and ask, do you feel you can handle this on your own?
It's just the church.
See, it's just the church.
In fact, I would say that the church has been nicer to me in general than general population. I'm sure it will be fine.
All right. So long as you're sure.
All right, I head out.
All right, and so just to confirm, solo.
Looks like it.
Alrighty. The streets, as described, filled with refugees, filled with evacuated peoples. The officials are hands full. As you reach the Church of Auril, you see that they are welcoming people in with arms wide open, pulling people inside, putting cloaks over their bodies, and let me make sure I'm gonna take you guys to the right map. So that you guys can see what's going on. Of course, I know that not you all are here in the fiction. However, I wanted you all to be able to see what's going on. You see, leading the refugee efforts are the steady hands of Sybil Sirith as she pulls people in and puts the warmth of Auril upon their shoulders.
Has much progress been made on the statue in the 2 days we've been gone?
Yes. The only thing that is really missing from the statue is the well-detailed head. Yes, that is exactly what I was going for. Should I change Sybil's art to be Scott Stapp? I think that's that dude's name.
I mean, you could. I was doing it more for the fact that, the next line's under the sunlight. That was more for Alicia than anybody.
Absolutely. And it turned out that he wasn't actually a Christian the entire time. He was faking it.
Sacre bleu!
Anyways, Sybil welcoming the refugees in until she sees the midwinter child standing at her gates. When she sees you, she ushers some of the other acolytes to take over. And she starts to walk your way.
I enter the gates. Look at the statue. As Sybil approaches, Akia will say, "It is very impressive."
Thank you. We've been putting a lot of hard work into ensuring its artistic accuracy. But I fear that our work on it will have to be halted with the so-called destroyer of 10 towns coming our way.
I need to make this quick. The group of Thanes is leaving for Targos immediately. We attempt to head off the dragon.
I see. Well, what can I do you for, then?
I just wanted to inform you, as the only other group that can mount such a defense. Although, if there was any among you that had an ability to ground a dragon, that would be much appreciated.
I see. I've heard of such spells before that can bring even the mightiest creatures down to the ground. Earthbind. I've heard of this spell. Alas, none of our priests have the ability to conjure such a spell.
Sybil, do you believe that your forces stand a better chance against the Shardland Dragon, or do you believe that the Thanes have a better chance?
Ah, an interesting question. A moral dilemma. Do we leave the fate of an entire town, of an entire world of people up to your group? Or do you pass the buck to the Church of Auril? An interesting question.
I ask because whichever group is more powerful, it does seem most efficient that the weaker group help the smaller group. I mean, the weaker group help the stronger group.
I see. The Church of Auril will not leave the city of Brynshender. We have much important tasks to attend to here.
I see. What about you yourself? Would you like to go to Targos with us?
She stares at you in the eyes, and I need you to make a social influence check.
Is that a charisma check?
Yeah, that would be a persuasion check to convince her to come, or if you have another type of ability that would allow you to interact with her socially.
I don't believe so.
Mm.
But what I will say is that, and I'll do this in character. Well, I believe there will be many, many refugees, even if we are able to save Targos. And if we are able to stop the dragon, it would aid you substantially in bringing more members into the church. And it would severely help us. I believe that would be a win for both of our sides. And
So
I'm going
I
to
should-
use that as an intelligence so that I can add my processor overclocking to this check.
So you are saying that you would owe me a favor for helping you?
I would say that you were doing yourself a favor by helping us.
Ah, so you're saying you would not owe me a favor?
It benefits us both.
Ah.
I do not see how either of us would be beholden to the other.
I see that you are not the type to give that type of help or that type of leeway.
All right, I'll make that check now if that's okay.
Yes, it is.
I've got more DM inspirations. I'll make another one.
Okay.
It's a 17 plus 4, 21.
21. She looks to you and she says, an enticing deal that you put in front of me, but as I said, the Church of Auril will not be leaving the walls of Brynshender. And as the High Priest, I will also not be leaving.
I understand. If you see Targos on fire, you probably have about 30 minutes before the dragon arrives.
And we will be ready.
And with that, Akia will go over to the statue once more and place their hand upon it.
Yes. You see that there have been many things added to the statue. The dress of the statue appears much more ornamental. The deep inlaid runes upon the statue appear different, as if there have been many added to its entirety. It looks a little different. The only thing unfinished, of course, is the head.
All right. after that, they'll head to the north gate and meet up with the group.
Okay. I love that. Okay. Well, group, your wayward son appears. It is Akia 13.
And that's how I was able to cross the stream with the fox and the chicken and the grain.
I was going to ask, well, Avalos, or not Avalos, well, Akia was gone. Does the party get up to any mischief?
I would say, closest thing I would say to mischief would be, I would try to want to talk to Avalos away from everyone else, and I would say, and I would talk to him saying, Avalos, look, you know when you left because, everyone else was, kind of like in their own heads about the whole Shardlin thing?
Yes, it was quite... I don't know what the word is, but it bothered me greatly.
Well, I will say that that's good. Hold on to that feeling, because it means you're still sane. I should just pause for a moment to let that sink in for you.
You see no change in his face. Like he's like, "Oh, okay."
All right. So it's just like, I guess in a bit of good news is that it seems like Akia has broken free from it. I'm not sure what they did or what happened to them. I think it may have had something to do when they met with their sibling, number 11. But it seems like it still holds sway over Alicia and Gaiman, and I'm just concerned that, well, I think once we deal with the Shardlin dragon, we're not entirely done with the Shardlin, you know?
Can Avalos make an insight check to see if he's noticed any of this?
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, there's so many dice.
I don't know why. I did not use Fanspo. I don't know why that's there, but 24. So yeah, I guess he noticed.
Yes, you would have noticed these changes in personality from the members of the party, and the changes in actions from the party.
Yes, I've surprisingly seen all of that. I don't know how to fix it except somehow removing the items from them. Perhaps breaking the contact is what did it.
Well, I certainly hope we don't have to use force against them. They are still our friends, even with what they're going through, but hopefully with you and Kia and our friends, and perhaps you could, once we take care of that, maybe Michonne might be able to lend us some insight on to help with that.
So, in my few hours in Bringender before you all got here, everybody was saying how they want to give hopes and prayers to the refugees. That apparently seems to help and require very little effort.
You see, when you say that, Lotus very visibly rolls her eyes, and it's like, Avalos, I know your heart's in the right place when you say that, but that means very little in this situation. But I feel that if we all get together and just talk to them and express our concerns, hopefully that should be enough to help convince them. We need to make sure we let them know that we care about them and we think that these changes are not just hurting them, but hurting us as well.
You want me to try to explain that?
Well, not just you, but all of us. Like I said, the important thing is to show empathy. Like I said, to show them that we're doing this because we're concerned for them.
Well, Alicia and I have a special relationship. We are winged friends, so perhaps I can use that to help connect with them.
All right, that's good. and I'm sure Watto's smart. I'm sure he can. Sure he can figure out something.
It looks like Akia is returning. Or not. I don't really know what anyone else is doing.
While this conversation is happening, or as it's closing up, would Alicia and Gaiman be having a conversation with one another or with anyone else in the party?
Gaiman would be off by himself, sharpening his weapons for the coming battle. But I mean, Alicia, you said you were meditating beforehand. I mean, did you want to do that, or did you want to do something else?
Well, I guess my question was, were we all meeting at the North Gate and just waiting for Kia to show up, or were we still all separated? Because if we were all together, then I mean, I'm gonna ask it before. Do I see these Ivalis and Lotus walking off?
Then we will decide as a party at this moment. Were you all waiting together for the one known as Akia to return?
I mean, Gaiman would have been waiting for Akia to return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say after the conversation I had with Avalis, I would have, probably would have, if you would go with it, probably when walking with here, probably just about to end the conversation, probably walking up to meet up with everyone. And I guess just one more thing before I would say to just before we get within earshot of everyone else, I would say to Avalis, and I know what Gaiman and Alicia are going to bring up the moment I start talking about the Chardolin. And she just taps the forehead of her mask.
Avalis, I was like, headache?
She gives a bit of a tired smile, but shakes her head. She's like, no, my mask, that's what they're going to talk about. They're going to say, oh, how do we know you're not secretly being controlled by mind flayers right now? It's or how do we know, your dad's not actually controlling you from his ice prison or something like that?
Those are actually good questions.
All right, she'll look at you and say, all right, I guess it is a good question. Avalis, how do you know that those aren't true?
Well, you don't seem changed, so if you are a deceiver, you are very good. But I do not sense malice in your heart.
Of course, I may have grown up in a little bit of a rough neighborhood and a rough city around some rough people, but you say...
Sounds rough.
I'm actually very concerned about this giant dog.
But they say that the most beautiful of diamonds are... the most beautiful of diamonds are formed under intense pressure.
Aren't all diamonds formed that way?
Under pressure.
Well, I guess that is technically true, but as I said, Avalis, you have no need to worry. I mean, honestly, a lot of the stuff I've learned about this mask and who my father is and all that is only things I've learned recently. But
I mean, I was lucky that my parents didn't eat me when they found me, so,
like I said, when the time comes to confront Gaiman and Alicia about the Chardolin, we all just need to stay together and just remind them that we're doing this because we care about them. Remember.
Hello.
Got it. Hello,
Then-
Kia.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's when we reunite with everyone.
Did your sojourn to the church go well?
I talked. So, I suppose.
Good talk.
A tiny voice speaks up. A bush appears from behind Avalis's leg and says,
I know that talking can be hard. It's hard for me most of the time.
"It is the face of Red, the bush."
Yes. Talking was accomplished.
Good job.
And the bush extends its arm forward towards you. Akia.
Thank you, Red. They will awkwardly put their hand art to see if they're like trying to give high fives or shake hands. It is very
They are.
difficult to tell.
Yes, they do not have fingies, so they were trying to give you some daps for your good work.
It is awkward.
Mm-hmm. You all see that Akia, the Warforged, and Red the Bear Bush are shaking hands.
Those to just smile softly at that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a thorny situation when one leaves the other hanging. No.
Oh gosh.
Lotus will turn to you, Avalis, like, Avalis, was that a pun?
Yes, I'm trying to embrace this thing called humor that Gaiman seems to be a fan of.
Well, keep at it. I think you're doing good so far.
It also seems to bother Alicia, and I find that funny.
Hold on a second. That's Lex, not Alicia. Don't be crossing the stream.
Oh.
When
I
an
will bring
ancient
you.
demon asks you if you're God, you say yes!
I want to fight a dragon. Let's go.
Excellent.
I'd say since we're leaving the B team behind, Lewis will just give Watto a quick goodbye kiss and just say, like, keep an eye on things here for me, okay?
I have a question for you all before you leave, Watto says to the entire group.
Well, yes, of course, darling. You can ask us anything.
I need to know. What are your thoughts on being resurrected?
That only matters if we ever.
Can I
Have the
think about
thoughts
it
of
and get back
dying.
to you later?
If you all perish in this battle, I hate to even bring up the words. I want to ensure that you aren't lost forever.
I mean, I certainly don't mind Watto, but, I'm not sure if my familial relations might complicate things. She says because she is honestly not sure.
I have learned that there are magics that can allow someone to be resurrected from even the smallest part of their body, but it needs to be substantial in a certain type of way. There's a spell known as resurrection reincarnation that allows me to do such a thing. If I have your body and you've been dead no longer than 10 days, it will create a new adult body for your soul to enter, and then you will be resurrected in that new body. Unfortunately enough, when
the spell is activated, you are not taken into the body that you left. A new one is created from the wild weaves of the world. So, Akia, you could become human. Damon, you could become an elf.
Oh, fuck that. Besides, I'm not planning on dying.
Alicia, you could become a hamster.
I mean, double fuck that.
I want a hamster.
You want to become a hamster?
No, I want
No,
a
he
hamster.
said he wants a hamster.
Alicia, if you become a hamster, I would keep your cage clean.
No one is becoming a hamster.
But if it does happen, I would take care of
It
it.
won't.
Can't Avalus become a hamster?
I can. Yes.
Avalus, you could become a plasmoid.
I
A
don't
what?
know what that is.
They are creatures from the astral sea. They are strange beings made of fluid and ooze.
That sounds squishy.
You could become one of those creatures.
So, when you're resurrected as here, are you still... How do I say this? Are you still yourself?
Yes, your soul, your mind is the same. It's just your body that is different.
I see, and... I mean, this may be a bit personal for me to ask you, but if I were in a different body, would you still... She sort of like clenches her teeth as she tries to find the words.
Would you want to have sex with the squishy one?
Well,
That's not exactly what I was asking, but sure, let's go with that.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Would you love me if I was a gross earthworm? Christ, how many times have I heard that?
How
I'll tell
many
you
times
this.
have you heard
How many?
that?
Yes. It seems rather specific.
I will still love you if you came out to be different than how you are now, for it is not necessarily your body that I fell in love with first. I was falling in love with you each time you came to the library to speak, those tiny moments we had. And then, I cannot lie, I did fall in love with your body later, when we were having hot sex.
He just grins at that. It's like, well, I of course won't speak for the others, but I'm certainly fine with it on my part.
Watto, is there a specific reason why you are bringing this up? That is talk of those who have lost faith in their path and believe that they will lose.
Oh, I only bring it up as a contingency, that is all.
We have not
Noted and
faced
appreciated.
anything quite like this before.
And the cost would only be a pinky finger, a toe, something like that. Maybe even, I don't know if you're afraid of losing something like that, an ear, something.
Good talk. And Alicia just walks towards the sleds.
All right.
And I'll give Watto one last kiss before heading out to join the others.
Water sighs and thinks, I hope they're okay.
To answer Alice's question, Gaiman would explain that seemed to be like the number one question he overheard when he was in Waterdeep, when he was, in the nicer part of town, if he was going for a walk or something, and there was a couple in a cafe, having a conversation. Like, how much do you love me? Would you still love me if I was an earthworm? Would you still love me if I was gross and disgusting?
That sounds
Actually,
horrible to have to
can
have heard.
see that happen.
I know, right? And look, everybody seems to be rushing into relationships. It seems like a fucking disaster, mate.
I may have done something.
What you do?
Rushed into something, maybe.
Okay. Did they ask you if you would still love them if they were an earthworm?
No, not yet.
Oh, you're probably fine then.
Okay.
Now Avalos is doubting his quote-unquote relationship.
What? Because he didn't ask the question, if he would still love to if he was an earthworm.
Well, again, he doesn't know. This is his first time doing any of
Okay.
this, so he doesn't know what's supposed to happen.
This is bringing back all sorts of memories of a Daniel Tosh stand-up that we should not get into at the moment. Then you are all ready to board the sleds and head off to Targos.
Avalos will fly.
Avalos is going to fly. It will only take you both a half hour to fly and ride from Bryn Shander to Targos.
Being higher up, do I see any smoke or dragon or anything like that? That's new.
So what you see is that tourmaline is burning, smoke is rising from it, and now, unfortunately enough, you can see in the distance beams of light flashing through Lonelywood, and fires are beginning to be set there in Lonelywood.
As we travel, number 13 will begin a short rest to switch out their settings to Guardian mode again.
Excellent.
Say, during the trip, Lewis will just sort of be lost in thought, and as usual, when she is, she'll be smoking on one of her cigarettes, and then just sort of wonder, and then she'll just sort of wonder aloud, just to herself or anyone else around, Father, did you ever really love us? Or were we just a means to an end for you? And just leave it hanging on the air.
Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you delete that Avalos for me? That's the wrong one.
Sure. And I need to bring out the Targos map. During the 30 minutes on the sled, is it a pretty somber affair, or do you guys speak to one another about what is to happen?
Number 13 will say to Knocker, we should make air defense devices to sell to Bryn Shander and Targos once this is over. They seem woefully unprepared.
Wait, you're saying that before you leave or after?
Just on the trip.
Because Knocker was told to stay in Bryn Shander.
Oh, okay.
Because he's in the B team.
Oh, okay. We left the entire B team.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, we've kind of discussed it at length.
Okay, so I'm bringing everyone over into Targos at the moment. With that new knowledge that you're no B team, you guys are on the sled, do you guys mention anything to one another?
Question. So, I don't think it was made clear that the conversation that Lotus and Avalos had, was that away from the others, or was that like a two-person huddle,
Heroes, what do you think about
attempted
that?
to be out of earshot?
I would say that Lotus definitely would have wanted to keep that conversation between herself and Avalos as far away from you guys as possible.
So you two just disappear together.
That's...
I mean, I think it was while we were waiting, we would have, just gone to the other side of the gate or something like that. Probably not too
Okay.
far.
Hmm.
Well, I mean that then prompts what I posted in there, or is that
Mhm.
still
Oh,
enough
did
for
you
my?
get my? Did
Oh.
you get my private message in Discord?
My bad. Didn't check Discord.
Sometimes I feel that I really like the private messaging in Foundry, and then other times I'm like, we
Yeah,
have this messaging software right here,
this
right
this
next
one
to
that we're
us.
using, like.
Hmm.
What's the weather look like? You know, asking for a druid. I know.
The druid craft cantrip would tell you that the weather is cold. It's dark. There is no blizzard on the horizon, but there is a light dusting of snow coming. And smoke. Lots and lots of smoke.
I was hoping there was a little bit of rain because that would help.
Unfortunately
I
enough.
mean, snow is like rain in that it is precipitation. I think Gaiman would approach Alicia, assuming we were on the same sled together on the way over, and would attempt to have a quiet word with them.
Oh, and one final question. Since there's only 5 of you all 5 of you guys could fit into one sled. You could leave your other 2 sleds behind. Do you do that, or do you take all 3 sleds and force one person to ride alone? Oh, especially because Avalis is riding the owl.
Yep, so it'd be 2 people by themselves.
Wait, we mean 2 people.
Well, so if you take all 3 sleds, it'd be 1 person on one person on another, and 2 people on
yeah,
one.
no, we don't need to do that. We could honestly just have it 2 people per sled.
Oh,
So
2 sleds.
Ablis would have, if that's
One
the case,
behind.
he would have had Zenith work with the sheriff to evacuate like women and children and non-ambulatory people on the sleds.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good
then,
idea.
One sled is being used by Sheriff Markham, and then the 2 sleds are being used by the party.
In the case that, one of the sleds gets destroyed and the dogs get scattered, then still have at least some other sled to jump on. Just in case.
Jump on it.
Jump on it, indeed. So, in this case, the 2-on-2, is it Lotus and Akia, and then Gaiman and Alicia?
That works.
Yep, sounds
Oh,
good.
man. Okay, so yes, the private scene between Gaiman and Alicia can now happen. Now that we have that all squared away.
Yes, Gaiman?
I'm concerned about Lotus sticking her nose where it don't belong.
It seems like they're planning an intervention.
Yeah, I mean, the hack crystal's understandable. It was self-destructive behavior. And I was too dense to truly understand the damage it was doing. But there is a greater plan, a greater good, if you will, that we're working towards. And she just doesn't get it. It's going to cause more problems than solve.
It is. I was truly hoping that we could postpone this, but it seems if they want to bring this up after this dragon is dealt with, then I think that will be the case.
Well, I think the best course of action is to somehow allay her fears, convince her that we are no longer a threat. My initial inclination is to remove the problem, but that creates other problems, and it's kind of an obvious reaction. But if we can be patient, lie in wait,
perhaps there's an accident as opposed to something more obvious.
Chaos does happen on the battlefield. We shall see.
Well, we need to be in concert on this. I'm not going to do anything without your agreement. But I am concerned. She's like a dog with a bone.
Well, she did say that she was an investigator on her world, and I can see why.
Yeah, but with not such a strong sense of self-preservation.
I don't think that comes with the territory. That may just be special for her.
Alright, well. We're already being suspicious enough as it is. Let's not give her more cause. I'm gonna take a nap.
I'll drive the dogs.
Damn. Alicia and Gaiman, please take a point of DM inspiration because I'm getting chilled over here. Chilled.
You're getting chilled. I'm apparently going to get shivved.
This is quickly becoming Oz and not our friendly neighborhood.
You know,
game
there
of
is a bit of a fan theory that Oz and The Wire take place in the same fictional universe.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well then, let us continue to the city of Targos. The city of Targos.
I thought Oz was upstate New York. Isn't The Wire Baltimore?
Thought so too.
Well, like I said, it's just a fan theory, so, you know,
I
always
mean,
take that with a grain of salt.
I mean, that
Yeah,
still, it
it's just
still
like-
works with the same, overall universe, but...
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just, are there like character? Is there character crossover, or is there like self or cross-referential stuff? I never watched Oz. I'm aware of it and kind of know some of the broad strokes.
Mm. Well, if that is true, that's pretty dope. If not, you all are still in the city of Targos. As described, the city is under high alert. There are guards patrolling the city heavily as the smoke, the fires are now visible, even from this distance, as many of the 10 towns has been decimated by this Chartalan dragon. The gate guards, upon seeing you all arrive, would hail you in. You would see leading the gate guards is someone that you have met but have not spoken to in quite a while.
Captain Scath.
That is exactly right. That's
That's exactly who Alicia was going to start asking for.
Yes. Basically manning the walls, speaking to the militia that is made up most of the Targos Guard. You see the tiefling known as Captain Scath.
Captain, it's been quite some time.
That it has, Thane. That it has. Welcome back to the city of Targos. The entire region is shook.
Unfortunately, yes, a number of the settlements have been, well, reduced to their foundations. We're here to see that Targos is not added to that list, and if not, at least stop this threat before it makes it to Bryn Shander.
Oh no, I do say I did not expect to hear that. We've seen the fires, we have seen the smoke. We didn't know exactly what has happened. From our watchers on the wall, we've seen great caravans traveling to Bryn Shander, but none have traveled to Targos quite yet. Or at all.
We have reason to believe that the dragon will be appearing from the northwest.
A dragon?
I believe we should take up post upon the wall at the northwest side of town.
I'm sorry I reacted so severely. It's just we are so news blind at the moment. No one has really tried to reach out to us or speak to us.
That's odd. We should continue.
Yes, of course. Please, everyone, come in, and we can try to organize what needs to happen next.
Is Narth here?
Yes, the speaker is here, trying to organize the city of Targos as best as we can. If, as you say, the dragon is coming for us next.
Akia just starts heading towards. I think they're gonna try to get up on the wall and start heading along it, and then if nobody follows, they're just gonna keep looking back. Like, are y'all coming?
Yeah, Lotus is just quickly following behind you, and as she does, you see she is sort of shaking a little bit, which does seem a bit odd because you notice like she hasn't really had that sort of reaction to the cold weather before.
Where are you headed?
We're going up to the wall so that we can see if we can spot the dragon. Where else would we be going?
Avalis is currently airborne at the moment. I believe he'll give us a warning.
I was thinking that we would head to the northwest section of the wall. Where else would we go?
Captain Narth, what defenses do we currently have up there?
He looks slightly embarrassed. Our defenses here in Targos are limited. Nothing like what you might find in the southern cities of the Sword Coast. We have 200 soldiers and 16 more powerful soldiers. I am one of those 16. So, all in all, we have 216 soldiers. We have no artillery. We have no warships. And even if we did, we have nowhere to sail them with the frozen harbor. We have no assault-type vehicles.
You don't have to tell us about the things that we don't have. That's pretty much what happens up here in 10 Towns. What do we have that can be useful?
Well, we have axe beaks. We have sled dogs. I feel so woefully unprepared. This feels like the situation we were in 10 Towns nearly 2 centuries ago. Of course, I was not here. I've just heard about it. When the Uthgard barbarians tried to raid the entirety of 10 Towns in one fell swoop.
I don't think many of these settlements were around at that time.
If Targos survives, perhaps we can discuss purchasing some mounted defenses.
Yes, I'm afraid we have no ballista. We have no trebuchet. Nothing of those type of attacking prowesses.
Yeah, Lotus will move to Akia's side and gently pat you on your shoulder, Akia, say like, well, Akia would definitely be a good one to talk about that. Them and Knobberknocker, I'm sure they could come up with very durable, long-lasting defenses at a reasonable price for you. She turns on her saleswoman voice.
Oh, you think so? I'll have to speak to the speaker right away if you all are in the neighborhood of, well, weapons.
Well, congratulations, Akia. Looks like you're going to be this world's Iron Man.
Akia just nods at that and looks to the rest of the group anxiously.
Captain, what is the tallest building within Targos?
The tallest building? Well, that would be the town hall. The Three Flags would be the second tallest.
Yeah, but not. How tall is it?
Oh, it's only 2 stories.
Not particularly tall. We need something that will lure the dragon, particularly. The harbor is a worthy target place.
Well, is there anything that you know that the dragon might be after? Maybe some information would help.
Unfortunately, no. It's just wanton destruction at this point.
Well,
Though it does seem like it has left notable sites alone. The standing stones that were at Dugan Hole were not touched whatsoever.
it could be that it just destroys anything that looks like constructed work, such as buildings, in which case everything is a target.
That's true. Well, maybe there is something. The speaker mentioned that you said this dragon was made of chardoman, right?
Correct.
Well, we may have come across chardoman here in the city of Targos.
When was this?
Oh, it was in the past week or so. We found ourselves a chardolan statue. The first person to touch it, oh no, it was kind of crazy. Their eyeballs kind of melted. Their ears, well, exploded with blood, and they fell over dead after touching it.
Lewis will speak up and say, Chardolan having a negative effect on a sentient being. You don't say.
Seems
The
their
speaker
minds were
has
not
it in his
ready.
room now. He seemed to be fine when he grabbed it.
Yes, we do seem to have those in our group that can withstand its influences as well.
I am curious if this can be used to lure dragon. I don't know if there is an attraction force for Charlotte or not.
It could not hurt to try, I suppose.
Captain, how many nets from the ships in the harbor do you have available?
Well, we could get all of them if you need.
If this thing does land, we need some way of keeping it on the ground. In whatever way we're able to tangle it up would be appropriate.
Of course. And whatever resources you all need to counter this dragon, then we are willing to provide.
Alicia, would you like me to start preparations for a dragon trap?
Yes. Whatever resources that you're able to get from the town, do so.
Very well. I shall take lead on this project.
I would like to speak to Nerth. learn more about the statue and if we can relocate to somewhere a little bit more obvious for this dragon to look at. Maybe that can focus its attention.
We should place the trap somewhere near taller buildings or the wall so that we can throw nets from above. I would suggest the middle of town.
Town hall and the 3 flags would be surrounding that. That could work as a location.
How about right here?
Oh, you're thinking of there.
That is where town hall is located.
Yeah. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, or center of town is usually like right. Like thinking. I don't think it is. Maybe
Yeah,
like
that would be
here.
the center of town.
Center of town, and that's usually where they hold like the sacrifices and whatnot, right?
That's correct.
I guess Akia will head there to scout it out and look for a good place to set a dragon trap if it's attracted to Charlton. While the rest of the team goes to investigate the statue.
That's what Alicia's doing.
Gaiman will mount the rampart, and he will try and wave at Avalos and get their attention.
Probably easy enough to do. I'm sure I'm looking down every now and then.
I mean, he's going to start hurling rocks and insults if you don't, after about 15 minutes, if you don't look in his direction.
I mean, you got a flaming whip. You can make some signs if you need.
Do I see any change in the sky?
So what you would now see is that the city of Lonelywood is now completely engulfed in flame.
Lonelywood has fallen.
Yeah, well, can't do anything about that right now. Oi, can that big old bird carry a couple of blokes, or is it just like you?
It is just one person, but I can summon additional owls if needed.
I think it might be needed. I mean, I need to be able to get up to the dragon to be able to get on it to bring it down.
Okay.
Let's see. So the ocarina replenishes at dawn, right? So I would have only spent 1 charge so far. Let's see. All right. So if there is another giant owl within range of, let's see. So that's just up to the DM. So he'll try to summon another owl. A
Right,
giant
and-
owl, obviously.
I'm going to say because it's very cool for the fiction. In just a couple moments, there are now 2 giant owls standing by. Red leader standing by.
I think you might need to make a charisma check against its wisdom, Gaiman. But if not, I can probably talk to it because I can speak to animals. I can probably talk to him instead if you'd like.
I mean, Jamin, unless it speaks common or giant, he's not going to be able to communicate with it.
These owls only speak the language of owls.
Hello, fair creature.
And I guess he's speaking owl because he's talking to animals.
Will you provide your aid and great wings to serve this one in flight? I must warn you, it is dangerous as we hunt the dragon in the skies. The one
You
made
s-
of metal.
Oh, I was going to ask if you speak of the Great White Hunter, but no, you speak of a different dragon.
Yes, this one unnatural, but this one, as he points to Gaiman, needs to get very close to its whatever the owl word for butthole is.
I see. You are going to attack their cloaca.
I believe he wants to dive bomb onto the. One moment, Gaiman, you wish to jump from the owl to the dragon?
Or climb. I mean, whatever's going to be easiest.
Yes, basically, if you could fly him as close as you can to the dragon so he can jump or dismount onto it. Don't worry about the butthole.
I see. Then none of my mission is related to the creature's cloaca.
No, just get this one onto the dragon if you can. The fate of, well, maybe not your world, but the fate of ours depends on it.
I will accept this mission, for I live in this world. And even if humans are sometimes a bore, sometimes dangerous, I do not want their world destroyed. For many rats are pulled towards your 10 towns, and if the 10 towns is destroyed, it will lead to harder hunting for me and my like.
You are a credit to your kind. Gaiman, this one will fly you to the dragon. Your name, noble creature.
My name is Timothy Owlifant.
Very well. You may call this one Timothy Owlifant.
For some reason, when you
Right.
look at this owl, it appears to look like it would look really good in a cowboy hat.
Wow.
I hate you.
It
And
looks
for
in
some
you-
reason, when Gaiman looks at this owl, he thinks this owl and another owl dug coal together.
Mhm. You're justified in your hate for this owl. It's so silly. Okay, the owl dons the
Atlas, do
cowboy
you
hat.
think you could, holler at another owl?
Because they're like out in the hollers in Kentucky. Okay, that was a bit of a stretch.
Mhm.
Quite enough. Yes. And Avos will get back up and go back up into the sky.
Okay, I guess Gaiman's gonna have to marshal up the courage to get on Timothy Owlifant's back.
Mm. He looks at you and says, "Hoot, hoot, 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 hoot."
Sorry, mate, I don't understand a word you're saying. But let's just be, nice and easy, nice to one another. You let me on board, and then we take off and go hunting for a dragon.
Hoot, 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 hoot. It nods in an understanding way.
Okay, Gaiman's gonna get on board and trust that the owl's gonna take him to the dragon.
Excellent. So the owl is going to start flying off into the air. Now, is this going to be a combination of both Gaiman and Avlis aboard their owls going after the Chardlin dragon?
Oh yeah, Avlis is going to be firing lightning bolts, so for sure.
Excellent.
Akia has turned out the bag of holding, and all of the shardlin that they collected from the coal mine outpost dumps out into a pile in the middle of this area where they're setting up this trap. Back when number 13 was like just collecting as much as they could.
Oh, how many Shardlin arrows do I have, by the way?
Are you asking me, the DM, or are you asking the person who made them?
I would be asking Akia beforehand, yeah.
is it not really any significant amount of time to? How much time does it take to craft an arrow? Slam
Arrow
one of those
crafting
shardlands.
is almost incredibly easy. Like you can make an entire quiver of arrows at one long rest because their cost is almost insignificant. Like one quiver of arrows is 1 GP, I'm pretty sure.
So basically, I guess it depends on just how much time Akia has to make that. I think Gaiman was just going to use the sphere.
Yerp.
So, and then Akia had to spend an hour changing out their armor on the way over. So, I'm not sure how much time left they would have. But after that, they would just make however many you wanted, because they've got a lot of scraps that they could just tip arrows with.
I mean, I don't want to take away from the trap, but I figure if I'm firing, let's see, call lightning and lightning bolts together. So I'm probably just going to fire 3 lightning bolts, so maybe 5 arrows?
I mean,
that's like what? That's like what, a quarter of a quiver? So 15 minutes to make, or something. I don't know how long it takes.
If it's all right with the DM, I would try and just take 5 of his arrows that he already has and take the arrowheads off and tip them with shardland.
That sounds good to me.
As opposed to making new ones.
That is all good on my end.
Okay, I'll just drag some arrows and just call them shardland.
That will work for me. All right.
Gaiman, I've got a Frost Viper Fang. Do you want that placed as like an arrowhead on one of your giant arrows? Does frost damage. Or I could turn it into a weapon later.
Just keep it. I mean, Gaiman's still got 11 Remoraz arrows, and honestly, he's gonna try and get in close.
Okay.
Is Gaiman already up in the air at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Alicia would flag you down.
Oi, Timothy Oliphant, be a good boy and go back down to my friends down there. And
he's gonna like point and what have you.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant will nod and give you a solemn stare with his deep amber eyes and fly down toward Alicia.
Yeah, Alicia would be flagging you down with a cantrip in the air as you see them in the darkness and whatnot. And when you reach them, any change out there?
Nothing that we can see right now. Aranis was good enough to act as a translator, and this owl seems to understand common as well. But it seems to be doing what I want, so long as I don't ask it to do anything too terribly dangerous or self-harming.
I mean, you would know that Lonelywood was destroyed, and it's probably moved on to Bremen.
I mean, Dragon is moving apace and moving as we expected it. My intention, I think, Avalis will act as backup is to go intercept it, unless you feel it's best to wait till it gets here.
Intercepting it could be risky.
Yeah, what does that never stopped me before?
Yes.
Why are you blind?
I don't know. I don't see anything.
You see anything now?
No, black screen.
It's because you haven't accepted the light into your life.
There's no token for him on the board.
Oh, I'm in target.
Oh, did we change maps?
Oh yeah.
I had an owl and I was down here at one point.
I think I saw
Not on
something
this
move
map.
like
Oh,
towards
so we
the
changed
top.
maps? I'll just drag new stuff down.
Oops. I did it again. And there's 2 owls.
That is a risky.
That's exactly
But you
right.
play with our hearts.
You can delete
We'll
the
play
old
with our tokens at
one.
least.
Did we get lost in this game?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby,
time.
We're
baby.
constantly lost, constantly making survival checks.
Well, Gaiman. Not that I want to promote your recklessness, but to give you a little bit more reassurance in this battle to come. You've never been one to know fear. I don't think you should ever feel it now. Especially not from death. So allow the light to guide you. And Alicia is going to place a hand on your chest and is going to cast Death Ward on you. So for the next 8 hours, you are warded from death.
Okay, I just gotta figure out what I'm putting on as a token to indicate I'm death warded.
I think
I think
may already...
there's a convenient effect. I can't remember. Nope, that's do it. Raise your hand. Looks so similar.
Looking for sparklies. What the sparklies?
No, there's
Oh,
not.
just give me one moment.
It's
I will
not an
create
effect.
one. So we remember that you have been warded from death.
So I think my intention is to get some of the soldiers to just stand up on the roofs of buildings, maybe camouflage them somehow, pack them in snow or something with getting nets ready to throw on the dragon. Maybe dig like a pitfall that the dragon could fall into, at least for a moment, stumble it, and throw nets on it.
I would say Lotus would come along with you and help to coordinate that. And in a momentary break in everything, you see that she's lit another cigarette and started puffing on it. She's like, you know, I wish I had my Weave phone with me. You know, it's whenever big stuff would happen. You know, whenever we'd crunch for a big story or something like that, I would always have to. I'd use it to put on a song. It would always help calm me down.
I do not have much experience with music.
Yeah, and knowing your interest in technology, she would just give you the rundown. Well, I know I said I called it a phone. I'm not sure if you're probably not familiar with that, but it's essentially an all-purpose communication device. I can play music on it. I can send messages to other people using either my voice, or I can enter words onto it and send it to them as well.
Those seem to be unrelated functions.
Well, that's the beauty of the device. It does several things in just this one device.
But if one part breaks, do you have to replace all the parts? That seems inefficient. You should just have separate devices for each function.
Well, that depends on the extent of the damage, but I'm not a technical engineer, but that's the idea. It's a concept called miniaturization, where you end up making a small device that does many different things. But the unfortunate thing about it is that the energy it runs on does not last forever, and you have to attach it to. She's trying to find a way to explain it. You have to attach another battery to it in order for it to regain the energy that it lost.
That seems luxuriously inefficient.
She gave a bit of a chuckle at that. It's like, oh, probably explains a lot of things that happen in technology in my world. But hopefully, when we find the ship, hopefully my Weave phone will still be there. I can show it to you. I'm sure you'd love to examine it.
Oh. Yes, I suppose I would. Were you rich?
Oh, gods, no. She'll sort of shake her head. It's I guess that depends on how you define the term. My mother said that she retired at a fairly young age and got a good pension from her union job as a secretary at the docks, but doing a little digging around, and I found that apparently my father, she says the word with a little bit of venom in it, apparently left her quite a bit of money before he left.
I believe you did mention that. But I suppose the question could best be answered by saying, are these Weave phones common where you
Oh,
are
yeah.
from?
Oh, yes. In fact, most people have them regardless of their income.
Hmm. It must be a very different place if everyone could afford to be so inefficient.
Oh, yes. In fact, the city where I'm from, the buildings are, well, in some places in the city are made of metal and glass.
It seems extravagant.
Well, that is the unfortunate thing. That's, well, something that I think that this place and even my world have in common is that those in power aren't necessarily those most deserving of it, not the ones who truly care about the well-being of others. But that's why I wanted to become a journalist, so that I could help shine a light on those people and make sure that those that do care to bring attention to them, and so that they could keep doing what they do.
Thank you, Scottrick.
Ooh, nice.
Akia is just shoveling dirt.
Look, I'm not very strong, but I at least want to help.
Akia looks at you, then hands you a shovel.
Yep, Lotus will take the shovel and do the best she can to shovel with her massive 8 strength.
Kia's only got 8 strength as well.
Ooh.
It's So it's like the both of us. I think we might be able to do this after an hour.
We've got soldiers to help.
Yeah, there we go. That's the thing. It's like we're not doing very well, but we're helping to motivate them.
Well,
Sort of
that's
created
still-
a little pedestal for the Shardlin, and making sure no one touches it.
So the statue is with the speaker, and we've got all of this preamble here. Alicia, would have been able to speak with the speaker, and he is currently at the Luskin Arms Inn, and I can drop one speaker, Nerth Maxil Daner, down onto the map.
And that's where they will be.
Mm-hmm.
Speaker Nerth, it's been quite some time.
That it has. And I have been informed now that we are in quite the conundrum.
That of the metal dragon variety. Not metallic, but metal. More of a construct than anything. I've already spoken with Captain Skaith about town defenses, and some of the other things are assisting in those matters.
This is what I have heard, that the town should be prepared for an assault from the air.
Though the most curious of things is that the captain mentioned that you had gotten a statue made of the same material that this dragon was constructed of about a week ago. How did you come across this?
We were on a routine scouting mission around the city and into Mare Duelden. Oh no, Paul, that's terrible.
Yeah, I just found out.
Please, you go ahead and share that. That's crazy.
So we have Icewind Dale, right? Well, the actor that played him on King of the Hill apparently has passed away.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I think it was like 64.
That's crazy. Well, you will be remembered forever, this actor, for your amazing portrayal of a great character, and that we are now stealing and putting into our D&D campaign.
Yeah, if
I can say
Eamon
it
dies,
forever.
I am totally playing Icewind Dale.
Hell yeah.
I just
Hell
put
yeah.
Death Ward, you motherfucker. That's my most expensive spell slot. You better not die.
I'm not planning on dying. I'm just saying if
I know.
shit goes tits up, I'm gonna, that's my plan B.
A routine scouting mission, you say?
Yes, onto Mare Duelden, when we found quite an odd sight, a kind of breakthrough in the ice, and wouldn't you know it, bobbing in the ice was this. And he reveals what appears to be a Chardlin statue. It seems to be depicting a strange figure, a human male dressed as a wizard.
Would it be any kind of check to figure out what's the deal with this thing?
You could definitely make a check if you're trying to think of who the wizard is. It would be a history check. But it appears to be, as the statues you all collected, in the fortress of Zardarok Sunblight, a statue fully made of Chardlin.
I'll do that history check.
Let's see here. An 11. With an 11, you actually recognize some of the features, but maybe not recognize the full story. You have seen pictures of this guy in a history book. Yes, that was my fault. I accidentally hit the X button on the Kenku player. This is Ikar Kessel, the wizard who is said to have built a tower of Shardolin with the crystal shard Crinshinaban so many years ago.
Cinnabon?
Yes, Crinshinaban.
I think we originally heard this story in Bremen, right? When they were talking about the, because I know the lady there, their son had ran off and joined some cult or weird thing, and there was mention of this tower. I think that's where that name was mentioned.
That is correct. For more, please read the great novel The Crystal Shard, written by R.A. Salvatore, featuring Drisdord.
Okay. But Alicia's currently having some blank spots when they're looking at this thing.
Mm-hmm. But she does recognize who it is.
Okay. Interesting that it'd be just floating in the middle of the harbor. And there was nothing else that was with this?
Correct. It was just bobbing there in the water, so we brought it back, and one of my underlings grabbed the statue when we were here without proper protection, and it fried his brain.
We've recently been seeing its effects on individuals who come in contact with it. So that's not out of line.
Yes, I have done my best not to interact with it physically, as I fear that I would have a similar effect upon my mind.
Just for the whole story's sake, can I make an insight check?
Absolutely.
Just want to make sure I'm getting the right gauge here.
With a 13, you believe that he appears to be telling the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help him, Lathander.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. We would like to be able to use this statue as, well, bait for this Charlatan dragon to see if it has any type of reaction. Maybe it will come straight to it as opposed to going all over the town. Hopefully you're fine with it. Hopefully you're fine with that.
I am. I am most worried about my city, the people that live within it, and, well, the safety of the towns to follow. I mean, if my account is correct, seeing the smoke that is rising in the sky, we're going to have to change the names on all our letterheads. From 10 towns to...
It wouldn't be towns to follow, it would be town to follow. The only one left after this would be Bryn Shander.
Oh, you are right. You see him scratch at his beard and his head. Well, I hope that we can stop the dragon here, then.
That is the intention. Have the rest of the citizens already been evacuated from the town?
Yes, that is in progress, as per your instructions, or the Thane's instructions. We have been slowly but surely moving them out. And most of them are heading to Bryn Shander and then away from there.
Good. How large is this statue? Enough to be carried by a person?
This is like 4.5 to 5 feet tall.
So that's still pretty chunky. Then yeah, we'll just ask for someone to load onto a sled and then move it to the location that Akia is preparing.
Of course. And two of his more bulky guys come out in basically fantasy hazmat suits, and he will say, "Do as the thing says. Make sure to load this thing correctly. I don't want anyone to accidentally touch it with their bare skin. We've seen what has happened so far." Is there anything else that I can do to help you?
Pray. That's all. Just pray. And Alicia will exit the building.
I'll do so. Go with God.
And I guess we'll meet up with Akia and Lotus at the drop zone.
As soon as Bremen's destroyed, I'll relay that to the people as well.
Absolutely. You are watching the destruction happen, and you get the feeling that the destruction of Bremen is actually going to take maybe a little bit longer than expected. You will think that potentially you could get a rest.
Then we'll definitely try and do so.
I'd say if you come up, I guess Akia and I are still working with the soldiers to dig, and of course, lacking her actual Wii phone to play music. She's just sort of going, just sort of filling in, going like, I got this feeling, yeah, where I'm losing all control, 'cause there's magic in my bones.
And the people that are around you are trying to pick up on the music and sing it themselves.
Yeah, it's from this all dragonborn bard troupe called the Imagine Dragons.
They ask, are they all dragonborn?
Yes, in fact, they are.
Oh, that's pretty cool. They all of the soldiers that are around begin to nod.
A bit on the nose, don't you think, for the band name?
Possibly, but, well, it seems to have worked for them so far, and
They're not really dragons, so they're imagined being dragons.
But I see you've brought something else for the pile.
Yes, it was found in the harbor about a week ago. Hopefully this little tribute will suffice to the dragon. Get it to come down.
Alicia will go ahead and lay down the shovel and step aside, clear away, and then she'll say, like, "Oh, I certainly hope so. Just can't wait to be done with all this Charlatan business."
Well, at least the ones that's been animated. That's of concern. There was a huge tower that was constructed of the material long ago. It's probably more spread across the dale. In either case, we have one that's flying and shooting beams from its mouth to be worried about. Akia, how are you holding up?
I am doing fine.
We lose Orf or?
So, with what has been said, you all can grab a long rest, and then I think the best place to put this in would be potentially I'm going to go over to the Discord server real quick, and I'm going to make a channel called Chartelin Dragon Preparations so that I know everything that you guys are doing. So, as you guys are getting a long rest, tell me, what are the preparations?
Long rest or short rest?
You guys think you can get a long rest. The destruction of Bremen seems like it will take longer than expected. They seem to be putting up more of a fight.
We're just letting them die. Sorry,
Yep.
guys, we're tired.
As they said in a great rap song, these be the breaks.
So I assume during the long rest, my 2 owls kind of go away, and I'll just obviously resummon them later with the charges I renewed. So it'd be like nothing happened, I guess, right?
Correct. Okay, so we've got pitfalls with Chartelin, and then cover it with your Team Rocket leaves to see if the Chartelin Ash will go into it, so you guys can steal its Pikachu. I'm into it. You've got a bunch of soldiers with nets, okay? And then Avalos has Chartelin arrows.
And 3 lightning bolts to go up its booty.
Mm-hmm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You were unable to secure the plans or any of the Duergar that worked upon this bad boy before you guys left.
Well, I think the one that worked on it was the king, and he's kind of dead.
Mhm. It's true.
Yeah, the only thing we learned was the weak point
Mm-hmm. Crouching
from the prince. The prince gave up information, and I think that was pretty much it for weaknesses.
Okay, crouching Chartelin, hidden butthole, absolutely. Okay, then I will advance the time forward. You are all able to get a long rest, as it appears to be 8 a.m. The darkness that fills the land has not lifted. The smoke from Bremen is rising. And you all feel that in roughly an hour, the Chartelin dragon will be here. You feel it in your bones.
Is that because I've got magic in my bones?
You have magic in your bones. You also have magic on your face. And the other members of your party have magic on their armor, magic on their crown. All of that goodness.
Fourth question.
Mm-hmm.
So, in an effort to try and prepare to be able to like climb over the dragon, Gaiman is assuming that there's like a scale situation, kind of like what is normal for a dragon with the construction of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Would he need any kind of like? Does he feel that he would need kind of special like climbing tools? He was wanting to like move around on this creature's surface, on this creature's skin.
Yes, it might be a good idea for Gaiman to have a climber's kit just in case, to make it easier for him to get around on the dragon.
Okay, in that case, Gaiman will try and go looking for a climber's kit, and also, hold on, I need to take stock of this. Where is it? The key is here. Okay, so I've got 3 scrolls, but 2 slots for potions. So Gaiman's going to go hunting for a climber's kit, which I guess would have the necessary climbing tools, as well as looking for potions.
Absolutely. So, heroes, does anyone have a climber's kit with them already?
Nope. I don't think so. I know. I feel like
Of
that.
course, I have this idea when we are no longer at the, central trading hub of this world.
Well, if you
there
are
is
looking for
a
something-
shop here. I think it's
Yeah, I
Trigilla.
guess you'd have to go to the shop.
Yes. You guys can go see an NPC that you have not seen in a while. Justin Hunray at Triglio's.
Yeah, I think they're general stores. They may have it.
And this is a place where you could get probably all of the things you were seeking.
Okay. Only trouble is money.
We do have a lot of things we could sell when we're not. I was thinking we would wait until we're not in a state of emergency, but you can try and sell it now. But I've got the obsidian sandals, which are worth 250 gold, and the malachite beard comb worth 750 gold.
Okay.
Akia would just hand you those things, and knowing that you're headed to the store.
All right. Those that aren't entirely sure what Gamon's intelligence level are a bit concerned, I'm sure. Like, oh god, the idiot's off to go shopping. Gamon would take these things, and then he would go and try and barter the best deal possible.
Welcome to Triglio's. Oh, I think we've met before. Maybe long ago. A few weeks past.
He would say as you enter.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I'm looking for specific things.
What is it that you're looking for exactly?
I need a climber's kit, and I need the most potent healing potions you got.
He looks at you and he says, climber's kit is no problem. And he rolls a die. Unfortunately, I only have 2 potions of healing left in stock. And unfortunately enough, they are only of the common variety. The potions will run you 50 drachma.
Gold.
Drachma? What?
He looks at you.
What is this?
And he says,
the Blade Middle East. Nah,
he's
I
like,
don't think
excuse
so.
me. I'm sorry, my mind was in a different place. It happens to me all the time. I'm constantly thinking of other worlds and the possibility of going to them. 50 gold dragons, or gold pieces, if you would. Your DM says.
Oh, I know. I'm just picking.
Right, so I'll tell you what. This is for, the good of not only, Dargos, but also good of your business. My success is dependent on me having these things. So one might say it's an investment in your future. So I think this you should make these prices right attractive. Hmm? Savvy?
He looks at you and he begins to nod, and you can give me a intelligence persuasion check as you are trying to cater to his intelligence. Okay, 13. He says, I can do a little bit better then, I think, for an investment. I would be willing to part with the potions for the price of 40 gold pieces each.
Hmm. I really don't think you properly invested in my success, in your, your future success. I think it's a fair deal would be 50 gold for the lot.
He looks at you and he says, 50 gold for both? I can't do that. That, in this world, I would be shutting my store's doors before too long if I sold you that. I'm sorry, I can't go any lower than 40.
Well, I mean, if I'm not successful in stopping the dragon, I mean, a couple of potions is not going to make or break it. It's more of a dragon's going to come along and just smash the whole affair.
He looks to you, and you can give me one more persuasion intelligence check to see what he might potentially do. With a 16, he looks at you and he says, I can't go as low as 50 for the lot, but I will go 35 for each, 70 for both.
Well, you drive a hard bargain. 70 for the potions and then 25 for the kit, was it?
He looks at you and he says, that's right.
You got anything else, unique or handy in the back there?
I have a few things. I have a few scrolls, a few odds and ends. Would you be interested in those type of things?
Maybe. If it is useful in killing shit or dealing with weird magical circumstances.
He looks to you and he says, well, I do have two kind of lucky items that came across my door.
No, do tell.
I have 2 potions of heroism, and I have 1 potion of gaseous form.
Not so sure how useful that potion of gaseous form would be. Because isn't it like once you're in the the cloud version of yourself, you can't really impact the physical world.
From what I understand of the magic, that is correct. Once you have become the cloud, you are the cloud until its effect ends.
But potion of heroes, yeah, I like the sound of those two. What will those set me back? Being as I'm going to be a hero for protecting your town, your shop, like.
These are quite valuable magical items. The potions of heroism for both would set you back 800 gold gold coins here in Icewind Dale. Toot toot.
Toot toot from the boot.
Mm. And it sounds like you're not interested in the potion of gaseous form.
Yeah, it just it seems a bit situational. It's not really useful given our current situation.
Unless you fall off a dragon.
Yeah, but that's why I have a scroll of featherfall.
Yeah.
He looks at you and says, so would you be interested in these potions of heroism then? Like I said, 800 for the pair. More than fair for how rare these potions are.
Right, so I've got this fancy beard comb here. I mean, you're not a beard connoisseur, but somebody might be. Would you be thinking that we could do a trade? Potions, 4 potions, kit for the comb.
He looks at the comb, and it is quite majestic. He says, I could fetch a high price for the gems alone on this beautiful artistry. You have a deal. I will take the comb, and I will give you the potions.
All right. Now so the beard comb for the whole lot, or just for the two potions of heroism?
You were saying the combs for the potion of heroism, and then you were going to buy the healing potions and the climber kit. Is that correct?
I was trying to get the whole lot for just the comb, but if
I see.
if that doesn't work, then I mean, again, I'm trying to not leave money on the table, not in terms of like strong arming the guy, but like getting 1,000 gold worth of shit for the stuff that I'm trading.
Sure. He would look to you and say, I don't know if I can trade all of the goods for the comb. Do you have anything else that might be worth adding to the pile? Maybe I could throw in the other potion if you have something else.
Well, I really think I'm taking a loss if I'm doing this, but I mean, I've got these fine obsidian sandals.
He looks at the obsidian sandals, and you see there's a sparkle in his eyes. It is clear that he wants those sandals.
Well, you kind of twisted me arm on the on that potion of gaseous form. I mean, do you have anything else like really unique, perhaps in weaponry, that might be a good sort of rounding out of the deal, let's say?
He looks at you and he says, I don't have anything in the realm of pure weaponry per se, but I do have something that you might be interested in.
All right, I'm open to a suggestion.
He says, have you ever drank an elixir of health before?
Can't say that I have.
It is quite a mysterious item. When you drink it, it cures any disease that might be afflicting you. It removes any effects of magic or supernatural that might blind, deafen, paralyze, and poison you. It is quite the powerful potion if you are going into battle to have.
All right.
Oh, and how it is written, if you are suffering from multiple conditions at once, it cures all of them in that grouping.
At the description, Gaiman will put his hand out as to say, okay, we got a deal.
Perfect. He will take the sandals and the beard comb. You will get 2 potions of healing, a elixir of health, and the 2 potions of heroism. All the potions. And I will have put an elixir of health into the items folder if you guys want to grab it from there, and then potion of heroism. I think people sleep on the potion of heroism. It is a good item.
Is
I mean, as soon as you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, let's do this.
You get the temp HP, and you're under the effect of bless for an hour.
Non-concentration bless? I mean, that's the biggest drawback with bless, is that somebody gets hit.
Mm-hmm. He would tell you that he got these potions of heroism from a far-away land. It was a traveler here in Icewind Dale. It was, in fact, a centaur. And he said that when he spoke to the centaur about how he made these potions, the centaur simply would not tell him the ingredients.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh.
So Orf, what you're saying is that heroism.
No, we
is
all
stored
know
in
what
the-
he's saying. We just don't have to articulate it.
All right.
Listen, I'm fine with it in the Mythic game. This is a different setting.
He just wouldn't tell him what the ingredients were. That's all he says. He's just like, I just don't know exactly what was in it.
it's a family trade secret.
It's a glowing amber bottle filled with a glowing amber liquid. It's like a liquid gold type situation. He says, so is there anything else you need, or have we reached an accord?
No, I feel that we've reached a fair agreement. Appreciate doing business with you.
I appreciate the business that you have given me, and good luck. You will always have a fan in Triglios. And with that, you guys have a massive store of potions. You have a little bit of time left, and you have the Shardlin Dragon coming your way. And I will tell you guys without a shadow of a doubt, there are only 2 of the 10 towns left. Only Targos and Bryn Shander are left standing at the moment. Bremen is a burning, smoking pile, or pyre, I should say, on the horizon. With that being said, I am excited. I love to have sessions where it's all of this storytelling, all of this preparation, all of this like getting into character that you guys did. So thank you guys for that. I feel like I needed it. It was good. It was cool. So before we adjourn for the evening, any final words, anything that anyone would like to share before we all head out?
No, just thing real quick. I'm just excited to hear back from that artist. Can't wait to see what they do with Watto.
Absolutely.
Out of curiosity, if someone were to, I don't know, cast polymorph on a dragon that's flying, and theoretically it failed its save, and theoretically or hypothetically changed into, I don't know, a squirrel, it would take like a shit ton of falling damage, right?
So how that would work, you polymorph it,
Mhm.
it turns into a squirrel, it falls however much it falls, it takes the damage. Once it gets past a squirrel's hit points, that damage would go through to its dragon hit points, and then it would revert back to a dragon.
Yeah, so conceivably it could be a lot of damage. And
Yeah,
at least
so
it'd be on the ground.
Yeah, if it's like 300 feet up or something like that, and you're able to polymorph it from that range, and it didn't have a fly speed, it would fall, hit the ground, take the 30d6, and then
Oh man, yeah. Avos may or may not try that. Okay.
absolutely. Before you do that, can you roll me an this creature is a construct, so you could give me a. I'm going to drag a construct out so that you guys can have a thing here. Check your scouter here. So this would be. Hold on. I dragged a construct out here. It's not technically here. Oh my gosh, it's so scary. If you want to do a check your scouter check on this thing, that way we can I can give you a little bit of information. Okay.
Oh well, that's helpful.
Oh, you get the feeling the Shardolin dragon has a lot of hit points.
Yeah.
I don't know if you already knew that or not, but now you know. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you guys all have a good weekend, and then we can meet back up on the 18th for our next session.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. I hope you guys had a great time, and I will see you guys next week.
Thanks, Caleb.
Yep.
My pleasure. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.
I have this to say: we are just far too pretty for God to let us die.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
If that's what you tell yourself.
I will try to polymorph it, thinking it can't have like a super high wisdom save, right? Because it's
right,
you know, right. I mean, because I was gonna charm it, but I thought it's a construct; it's probably immune to charm. I think most of those things are. So try that. If not, I still got a few lightning bolts, so and arrows.
I mean, that'd be a pretty good opening move.
Yeah, if it fails and it falls out of the sky, oh man.